Brother, get a soul clap one time. Positive vibes, maybe. Positive vibes, maybe. Hey, it's Wednesday night, 7 p.m. You know the station. You know the chill. You know the show. It's Positive Vibes, maybe. PVM is the hashtag. Tonight, we talking Roe versus Wade. Yes. Because it's something we just really had to address, honestly. Like, it's just too big and it's just too much that's going on that's pertaining to it. But we're not about to get into the gist of it, whether it was right or wrong. I think we're all in agreement that it was wrong to have that bill outlawed. Like, I really don't understand I understand the thinking, but we're gonna get into the ramifications of what Congress decision is going to have on us as a culture, as men, as women. You know, how will it affect dating? How will it affect our interactions with one another? That's what we're going to unfold tonight. So, you know, pour up your drink, spark your L, you know, pop your popcorn, you know, and let's have a fruitful conversation. I'm going to send out a few invitations to a few people I think may enjoy tonight's conversation. I'm all getting tongue-tied. We just started things, you know. Got to start it early, though. At least it's happening early. So, to anyone that may be entering the room at this time, you know, what's the energy? How are you all feeling? How's your Wednesday going? How's it unfolding for you? Hopefully, all positive vibes. No maybe in that. Yes, no maybe in that situation. But for myself, it's been a groovy Wednesday, you know. Been able to put the man and then put some time in to my own business. Oh yeah, and speaking of my own business, Flyer Mount Smoothies is available. Just hop over to Flyer Mount Catering, place your order, or just call me directly or send me a text at 267-496-9824. Almost forgot the number for a second. Whew. But yeah, send your orders over. You know, and I also have infused smoothies. I should say that as well. You know, but that's only for the real ones. Okay, there we go. So IG is acting a little weird on me today with these new features. Okay, Jeide, when you're ready, just send over your invitation. I'll bring you in. Oh, actually, never mind. It's starting to work on its own. Okay, so IG is giving me. Okay, Jeide, I see you. Got the baseball cap stuff.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of a project, you know what I'm saying? So I can't show the world what I'm working on right now, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Wait, is this the return of the locks?
Fuck no.
Uh,
I'm about to
I'm about
paint
to
this shit, you know what I'm saying?
I'm about to ready queue up Return of the Mac. Like,
Fuck no, bro. Fox ain't never coming back, bro. Never. What's going on with you, though, bro?
nothing much. Just living life, trying to cool on this side. You know, just got in from the job, like really just a couple moments ago. Tried to play with the nephew a little bit within that little minute span, you know. But you know, if you can hear him here in the background, getting his drummer boy on, so like he getting at his 10,000 hours, so he ain't even concerned right now.
That's what's up, yeah, man. I'm glad he's still drumming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see. This isn't a hobby. This is a passion. I'm seeing. You know, my man watching the tutorials. You know, watching the YouTube videos and everything, mimicking the drummers he see up on it. He like, shh.
That's
I'm
what's
just
up.
like, all right, I see you. Like,
That's what's up. Yo, Truck North, what's going on with you, God? I Desert 215, what's going on with you, God? How y'all brothers doing?
but how you feeling though?
I'm cool, actually. You know what I mean? I was tired a little earlier, but that took me a nice little power nap. I got my second win. You know what I mean? I've just been blessed with a plate of some good food, so I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, see, that's what I'm about to tap into once we get off. I'm still trying to figure that out. So, to anybody watching, throw in your suggestions of what I should have for dinner tonight. I am accepting all suggestions because I am at a loss for words. Just no chicken or tuna fish or burgers or cheesesteaks. Anything else is on the menu. Oh, and sushi. That's off the menu as well.
What you ain't eating chicken for?
Well, because the last time I had sushi, I started throwing up, and I still got to work in the morning. So.
No, not sushi. Chicken.
Oh well, I just had too much chicken the past couple of days, you know. So I'm just trying to give chicken a break, you know.
I feel you.
I feel like if I had one more chicken this week, I'm probably going to turn into a chicken. So you know, I better lay.
I feel you.
So I'm just like, you know what? Let me figure that out later. But I'll definitely take all suggestions, guys. But bring us to today's topic. Let's just shoot the shits with it, you know. Like, so today's topic was based from Congress' decision, you know, to disable the law that was in place for only 50 some odd years, Roe versus Wade, you know, giving women entirely their, you know, their decision of pro-life or pro-death, you know, as it should be, or as I feel like it should be. I think we both in agreement that, you know, that's we pro-life for ladies. Okay. I'm gonna I don't know if that's a yes or no, but I'm gonna leave that over the spicier. Like, so I feel like it's a good way. It's great for ladies to have pro-choice. So when I heard about the law being dislodged, a few things triggered in my mind. First, every old crazy senile person I ran into throughout my journeys of walking or taking any train came to mind when they were spitting these conspiracy theories back in the day, or at least what I thought were conspiracy theories that are slowly starting to unfold themselves into, you know, more and more our reality, you know, just in the way the government think and how they maneuver and just like certain things, you know, and even as knowledgeable as I am about certain things, it's just some things that even shock me at this point, you know, like that we taking away. It's just like while I know is a possibility is like, all right, so for Roe versus Wade, I never in my wildest dreams thought this law would get dislodged. Like I heard the rumors just like anybody else did about the Republicans trying to dislodge this law, you know. Like I heard the theories that they want to procreate more white life, you know, and as evidence, you heard the lady in her press conference screaming, "Yes, this is a win for white life," you know, like, and the crowd going crazy. You know, that's a real sentiment from a number of people in our country. Um, Although I heard of that, and I heard like many commentators hearing this, I guess I was under the mindset there's no way in God's green earth that 9 people would decide this. Like maybe there'd be like 2 or 3 dumbasses that would, but 9, and then for one of them to be a brother, like really just like was just like, oh my God, where have we?
Why is that so surprising?
Because like if any species should know how powerful the woman is, it should be the black man, because like they have been our backbone through everything, you know, like. And this is another thing that came up to my mind. It was and this is trifle. This is like a second part of tonight's topic. Sex. How is that going to unfold for us now? Because with the ban of abortions, that, yo, I ain't gonna lie, Jeide, it's been a couple of ladies in my life that saved me from having kids prematurely because they made that decision, you know. Now, I was in alignment with them, you know, but they decided the path we was taking on that, like, and, like, honestly, as I can speak for my current state, like, had I had those kids at that time, I don't know where I would be. You know, I don't know how life would have projected for me. So, like, I can say, like, they really saved me. And because, like, at that time, I was Mr. Yo, no, let's have a baby, you know, like, whatever, you know, like, I'm going to be here. And I was And both of them, to their credit, was like, no, I see bigger things for you, or I don't want this to interrupt your path, or where I know you're supposed to go. Like, this will just be a hindrance to you right now. So it's just like I can't see myself taking that. And you know what? And I can't see myself just being as a man telling another person, yo, what you can or can't do with your body. Like if this is the decision you've chosen to do with your body, who am I to tell you, no, this is unacceptable. Now I may dislike it. That's my choice to dislike it, but I don't have a right to tell you like you can't do this. Like, and I just see how this gonna unfold. Like this is gonna result in a whole bunch of, you know, botched abortions. We're gonna start hearing more about that. And I could just even I'm just thinking about how the mortality rate even might be, like as for ladies. 'Cause I was talking to one of my homegirls, and she was telling me how scary this was for her. Because she was just like, as a girl, she was telling me about experience where she was just like, she got an abortion, but when she told the dude she was getting the baby aborted, he tried to attack her, you know. And she was just like, that puts so much women at risk because sometimes the guy either don't want it or he do want it, and it could get violent either way, you know, like depending on the temperament of that individual, you know, like. And I was just like, yeah, and I'm listening to her, and I'm just like, yeah, like I can see how this is going to unfold even more, like more black men in jail, you know, more single mothers, you know, struggling. Not me and me. We are already in a recession right now because like this pandemic is turning into a recession. Like gas prices is outrageous. Like minimum wage can barely afford you a gallon of gas. Like that is sad. Like the average minimum wage can barely afford you a gallon of gas. Like we are in troubled times as a nation, as a country, as everything. And for this country to continue to stand on, we are number one. We aren't number one in nothing except for being the most ignorant and disrespectful creatures on God's green earth. Because all I keep seeing is how more rules are being enacted to make it easier to get guns, and it's getting harder for you to control your life and dictate what you will do with that life.
Hmm?
So I'm gonna open the floor to you because I feel like I'm rambling at this point. I'm gonna get to be having like a whole CNN moment.
Two reasons why I didn't care about having this conversation. And not to say I don't care about the issue. I don't. Not to say I don't care about the women. I don't care about the issue or having the conversation because the totality of everything that I can respond to can be summed up in two things. One, fucking America. I don't know how many times people got to run into the brick wall before they recognize that we live in a country that people dictate what other people do with their lives. People seem to, every several years, like clockwork, people seem to forget the principles that this country was built upon, what the Constitution really means, what the Bill of Rights or who the Bill of Rights really addresses. But it always takes something to happen where everybody gets up into revolt mode, and I'm just tired of it. I ain't got no batteries in my backpack for that. I got other shit to put my energy towards to be all the way funky. It's America. Get over it. If y'all don't understand by now that America don't give a fuck about y'all, and that they only care about the units, that they only care about the money, the shit that keeps the system of the country moving, y'all forever are going to be chasing your tail, disaster after disaster, thinking that America's going to look out for y'all. America don't give a fuck about y'all, period. Women, men, black, white, they don't give a fuck about the green, period. The other narrative, in which is like, I'm tired of hearing this seemingly misleading. I say seemingly because there's so much more into this issue. The seemingly misleading narrative that men are telling women what to do with their bodies. Bruh, we're talking about Congress. We're talking about a group of people that decided upon an issue to overrule something. We're talking about women included. women included, have decided that this should be overruled. So we're not talking about men, strictly men, telling women what to do with their bodies. We're talking about other women as well telling women what to do with their bodies.
I got a problem with it in general. Like, I don't feel like another person should be able to tell you what to do with your body. Like,
I agree.
Like, I feel like, look, you don't agree with that? I do. Look, this is open choice. That's what the country was built on. Like, that's a part of like our amendments, isn't it? Like, isn't that what isn't it supposed to be? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like, and I think that's where like the frustration lies, because it's just like, yeah, like everything you said is true. Like, America don't give a fuck about us. Like, and it shows you every day it doesn't give a fuck about us. But it's just like, okay, like, what are our options? Like, are we going to just like just be satisfied and quiet and just slowly dissipate? Because like the country is slowly reverting back to like the 1940s. Like, the way these laws are breaking down, the states are going to eventually start forming like the colonies used to, you know, and each state is governed by its own self. Like, because like Pennsylvania outside of Philadelphia is racist as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Like we like the black margin is really Philadelphia and a hint in Pittsburgh. Like, and really, I don't know. Like I can't really just see myself sitting by the wayside and just saying like, I'm not going to do nothing. Like, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to voice my opinion. I'm not going to at least try to, you know, prevent things, because like something had to give. Like, and I guess my biggest thing is like, it really is no plan, because like the people we put in place to take care of things have really dropped the ball, like, significantly. Like, the Democrats, they have some pussies. Like the Republicans, like, they are clear with their agenda and their messages. Like, they've been pushing it for decades. Like, and they are unilaterally, it's about the mission. Like, fuck who in the office, it's about the mission. Like, as long as you represent the Republican Party. The Democrats, they so despotically, nobody can agree on anything. Like, we can't even get a functionality of like, yo, what laws we should get in place, unless it's like something pertaining to our less melanin friends, you know.
Yeah, yo, newsflash, people. For everybody that's tuned in, sorry to burst your bubble, but whether you're libertarian, fucking Democrat, Republican, this is why I don't wave no fucking flags. I don't wave no political flags, because once you wave a political flag, you sign yourself up for the utopia that a group of people have designated that they represent. A utopia that will never exist in America. Sorry to burst your bubble. The utopias that each one of these political parties represent in trying to establish and facilitate in these Americas will never come about. Politicians get paid to drop the ball. Period. Politicians get paid to drop the ball. Their entire system is based upon dropping the ball. They can never 100 be for they look. Let me put something in real life perspective. Let's say the Republicans had shit running and we could see the shit coming before the shit coming and shit, because you said Democrats are pussy. All right, cool, nigga. If there's a group of niggas out here making money, making moves that white people decide to look at as cool, Republicans are going to hide their fucking racist face to some degree and work with them niggas. They are going to turn their ass around and say, hey, nigger boy, or hey, nigger girl, come over here and get some coin. And the same pro-black motherfuckers that be like this, that, and the third about Africa, about black skins, I guarantee you there's going to be some. Where the fuck y'all think COINTEL came from? I guarantee you there's still going to be a black person that's going to be like, let me get some of that coin. Niggas got their families to feed, B. Politics. The reason why politics is so fucked up is because it fucks with people in a lifestyle scale. People can stand on the principles that they think that they will stand on. The majority of people, they don't stand on the shit that they think that they stand on. It's cool to hit. It's cool to go to social media and say, this is my opinion on things. It's cool until a motherfucker tell you that your family ain't gonna eat, your kid ain't gonna eat. Niggas gonna change up their tune real fucking quick, dog. And we get shown over and over and over. And we still do the same shit. That's why I said I quit. The reason why I never wanted to have this conversation is not because I'm against or for Roe versus Wade. It just ain't got shit to do with me. Period. I don't come from this cloth. My mom, God rest her soul, she had terminations. Now, mind you, she wasn't in America. She wasn't in America, to my knowledge, at the time that she had the terminations. But I know what the human condition is. I know what human beings that want to do something will do. Nigga, motherfuckers will do their research. Motherfuckers will be persistent. It ain't gonna be a law that's gonna stop motherfuckers from doing shit. We got laws against crime. Niggas getting shot every day. What the fuck are we talking about? I'm done. I quit. I quit. That's what I'm saying. I ain't got no time for this shit. I ain't got no fucking dog in the race. I ain't got no fucking motherfucking place. You know what I'm saying? Shit ain't got nothing to do with me. And this shit has more to do with people that are way more knowledgeable in this shit than me. So I'm going to play my role.
I mean, I hear you, but I mean, it do have something to do with you. Like, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect all of us, because this is going to be a thing that trickled down, and it's going to slowly affect everybody. Because this is just the first law that they overturned. Like, this isn't going to be the last one.
You're right.
There's going to be more laws that come down that trickle more and more that affect us. So this is an issue that's going to affect you. Like, whether you want to acknowledge it or not is totally up to you. But it's going to affect you, and it's going to become real life. Like, us pretending like this isn't like an issue isn't helping the cause. Actually, I feel like we should be more vocal and being and staying. Like,
issue.
I'm not making an issue, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like that mindset is a bad mindset to have, and I feel like too many of our people had that mindset, and that's why we're in the position we're in. Like, we get conditioned. Like, yo, being quiet and getting used to this bad treatment only tells them, okay, I can keep doing this. And we get through that first wave, and it's just gonna keep on coming. Like,
I am not quiet.
Huh?
If I was quiet, I wouldn't have took this talk. When you brought this talk up, I didn't want to have it, but I decided that my stance is something that should be vocalized so that people know where I stand. I'm not quiet. So therefore, there is nobody that has a stance like me. And for the people that do, they're talking about it. I don't have any problem talking about it for anybody that wants to have a conversation. However, I'm not waving flags on either or. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not against people. Look, let's put aside how I feel about abortion for 2 seconds. I'm not against people who are.
I'm not pro-abortion. Right. I'm actually anti-abortion, but I just pro-choice. Like, I don't feel like that's my decision or choice.
What I'm saying is this. I'm not here as Mr. fucking Superman of civil rights, nor am I Captain Human Rights. I don't think that rights can be contingent upon a stack of papers. That's not me. I'm not cut from that cloth. Rights are a God-given thing. A motherfucker can leave their house right now and have the right to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Because it's call and response. There's consequences to every action. Ain't no motherfucking group of House of Representatives or Congress gonna tell a motherfucker what to do. No matter how many laws you put in place. If a motherfucker want to do something, they're gonna do something. Otherwise, we would have been in an American utopia years ago. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't believe in paperwork rights. That's why I say I don't have a dog in the race. That's why I say it don't affect me. I know what I'll do. I know who I'll fight for. I don't fight for women's rights. I fight for women, period. It's a difference. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I get you. I feel where you're coming from. You know, I'm just saying, like, even with all that said, you're still gonna feel what's coming from them, like, and that's just real. Like as much as we put it to the side, or even like try to finesse or whatever, like, at some point you gotta go through that power structure of getting bills in place, because the only thing that's going to do is make it harder and harder for us to protect the ones that we do love, because they're going to start implementing more rules that make it stingier and more stricter, where it almost might not even make sense to be a human being at that point, you know.
Niggas is afraid of dying, B.
Huh.
I am willing to die for my family. You feel me?
I
I
am
am
too,
willing
but I'm
to
not
go through this
trying to put my
for
family in a situation where they had the risk of losing me either.
no, look, I'm with you on that. That's real shit. That's real shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that just because I'm willing to die or go to jail for my family, I'm gonna go out there and do stupid shit. You're absolutely right with that. But I know where I stand, and I know as far as me, where I am concerned, I know what right. I know how far I'm willing to go for my loved ones. So with that being said, ain't a motherfucker on God's green earth aside from God that's going to tell me that I can't protect my family the way I see fit. Period. Ain't no paperwork gonna stop that. Niggas respect your lane and I'll respect mine. Period. Or niggas is dying. It's that simple. That's how I carry it. And I'm not doing this shit on some gangster shit. The cats that know me know I ain't no gangster. I ain't no killer. I ain't no nothing. But I know myself enough. Play with mines. Don't play with mines. Matter of fact, I beg you don't play with mines. Because the demon y'all gonna bring out, I'm not gonna have no regrets. Not. I'm not playing politics. I'm not playing face with these cats when it comes to protecting my family. Who the fuck are niggas to tell me how to protect my family? Y'all ain't go through the struggle we went through. Y'all ain't see the shit that we went through. Real time, real life experiences. The shit that we deal with the scars when it comes to this shit in our families, man. They don't. But them motherfuckers is gonna sign some pieces of papers and tell us to do what? And I'm not calling for anarchy. Read me clear. I'm not calling for anarchy. What I'm calling is for critical thinking. That's all I'm calling for. And I'm not calling for niggas to not vote neither. I understand that there's an infrastructure and a way to play this game in which we need to play in order for us to continue to push the ball. But this ain't the only motherfucking ball to push. That's where I stand.
I'm not against anything that you're saying either. I just want to make that clear. But with that said, I do agree with you. Like we do. Why I feel like voting is something like we do need to take more seriously, and I say serious like because it's record numbers that show how disproportionate like even like the black folks are to like Congress or mayor or senator as far as that fraction of voting. Like we'll show out for the mayor of the city or the president election, but those those lower those lower task votes we don't come out for, but those mean more to what's really going to affect us. That's where we really need to get mindful. Like we need to educate ourselves, and it's not even a hard test. It's really just just taking the responsibility and accountability of saying, yo, we're gonna make ourselves knowledgeable of who running our section of our city and start holding these cats accountable. Because like you, me, and the three cats down the block, us pulling up on whoever running like the district of our city, make more calls in our neighborhood than protesting throughout the streets, screaming. Like I'm not, I'm not saying like the protests don't help, but like just that action, like, and even with the vote, and it's still more you need to do besides the vote. Like that can't just be the end all be all. Like if you're thinking just because I placed my vote, things are going to change, it's not. Like you still have to go out. You still have to continue to apply the pressure because after they got the job, like you said, they do get lax and they do get comfortable making business decisions behind our back. That benefits their pockets and their families because, like you said, like well, I mean, like they are human, like and the human tendency is to be selfish.
Shit.
But with that said, we need to be selfish as a whole and kind of have like a unified understanding of what we want and how we want it. Like maybe it won't be my particular issue that we address first, but like it's on the list. Like, and we need to just kind of just prioritize like what's more meaningful and impactful for us as a whole. Like not what benefits me. Like, and this is kind of like my biggest frustration where it comes to voting is because like. And I used to be a corporate of it, where I would like vote based off upon like where I felt like what affected me personally, instead of like what affected like my people. And it was times where I'm just like, yo, I'm making good money. So, of course, like, I want to vote for something that's going to be less, vote for laws that are going to take less taxes out of my checks. But then I started thinking, no, that's hurting my people because that's hitting them on the back end. You know, like, while it's benefiting me, it's tripling them. Like, and the numbers won't add up. You know, like in my mind, like I'm doing more harm to my people and claiming I love my people, but I really don't. If I'm, you know, like if my selfish greed for money is letting me, you know, over a couple dollars, because it's not really going to be life changing money. It's just a couple dollars still. Like, you know, I'm more so. I'm more so like I kind of just wanted to have the conversation because I just kind of wanted to bring light and just kind of give the platform really to any of the ladies who might have felt like hurt, you know, scarred. Like I talked to a lot of ladies in my life, and I'm surrounded by a lot of them who were feeling like they were in their emotions, like, and I can't not be in my emotions because, like as you said, like the natural instinct is to protect them, like, but I can't protect them from something that's beyond me, you know, like I can't physically unchange this law, you know, I can't make it okay for them to feel safe. Like black women are already like petrified of hospitals in general just because of the high mortality rate for black women, you know. Now you telling them they can't even get abortions. Like kids make mistakes all the time, like some people just aren't ready for kids. Some people, it's just an accident, like, or raped, or whatever the case may be. Like,
that's where I'm glad that you brought that, because our EP asked us to bring that into the conversation as
yes.
the only key things that makes this law evilly problematic outside of preference.
Well, that's not even the biggest thing, Jeide, because like sometimes a lady can't have the baby fully, or the baby might die, and she might need to abort the baby on the table, like to save her life. Like, you trying to tell me she's gotta die? And yo, I ain't gonna hold you. The success rate of those babies aren't high for survival. So you trying to tell me if I'm a man, I'm possibly losing my wife and my baby because of a law saying she can't get an abortion? Nah, fuck that.
I can't speak on what I don't know the medical industry will do in the case of what an abortion means to saving a life. I can't speak to that because that's a real issue. I can't speak to that until I see something set precedence in that regard. The only thing that I can speak on is the rape issue, the sexual assault issue. You know what I mean? And I can only speak on that, but so much. So I have to do it tastefully, with class, with tact. That is the only issue that I see that makes overturning this an evil thing as opposed to just people bickering about preference. To be honest with you, I don't care about people bickering with preference. There's ways to get around it. Get over yourself, period. I don't care. However, when it comes to rape, that's something that you can't help. You know what I mean? Somebody sexually assaulting a woman, and then for that woman to be left with you know what I'm saying, the byproduct of that sexual assault in such a way, I ain't got no dog in that race for me to be able to say that I don't care about that. That's different. That's different. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I could see is, you know, if we see this as a thing that has statistics, if we see this as a thing that is a reality that happens to women, unfortunately, on a consistent or on a certain frequency, you know what I mean, of a basis. For this shit to be overturned, once again, we have to think about what this is about. This isn't about women's issues. This isn't about women's rights. This is about numbers. Period.
True.
It's about control. It's about numbers. And once again, the shit that makes it evil about it. And once again, one of the reasons why I'm not going to be waving my flag talking about this, that, and the third, it's because there are women behind this that have this knowledge and that still help to put this into effect. This does not go to say that, oh, women said it's cool, so it's cool. Fuck no, that's not.
Because they don't speak for
They don't. What I'm saying is that there is something intrinsically and problematic and wrong if something that affects a universal gender can dichotomize that gender into one aspect saying it's good and one aspect saying it's bad for whatever reason. There's something problematic in it. And I feel like a lot of the responses and I feel like a lot of the aggression that we see put on social media and beyond are misplaced, or they circumvent what the true issue really is.
So we got a couple comments to hit. So let's get them real quick. So that African butterfly said, and 20% of pregnant women are killed by a partner. So forcing women to have a baby for a man who doesn't want one puts her life at risk. Then there's young girls who would rather take their own life than be forced to have a baby. The whole thing is infuriating and sad.
Y'all about to see y'all really about to see what America about. The funny thing is, and not funny like ha ha, but funny like, yo, this is crazy, but this is not crazy. Like, what the fuck? I feel like we have been desensitized throughout the years because we've read about the evils of America. We haven't really seen it unless you actually been down south and you.
Well, we've been seeing it the last couple years. But
yeah. True.
And it's like a mass murder every other week.
Right.
You know, right. Like we are desensitized as people.
But even with that, think about this. When's the last time you yourself have been in a situation that was a mass murder? You know what I mean? Right. Exactly. So walk with me. What I'm saying is this. For years, especially with the inception of television, but really from books to television, for years there has been a barrier. There has been like this screen, this protective screen that allows us to heighten our fears without us actually being put in a situation. So we read about America's evils. You know what I'm saying? We see about America's evils through the television screens and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And people have still just been walking around XYZing however they XYZ. And the thing that gets me is like, this is one. You said this actually best. This isn't going to be the first time that something happens that's going to turn America on its head. Like, no,
this is just the beginning.
So, like, why the fuck are we so surprised about this shit? Not even surprised, but why the fuck is there such an aggressive turmoil about something that we know about? Like,
that's the thing, Jeide. Everybody don't know. Like, I'm glad because you actually said it. Like, we've been taught. Like, our era, our generation, we were the last taught. This new generation, they don't know. Like, the school system is changing. They're getting rid of the books. They eliminating the Black history. Like, you're just getting the basics. Martin Luther King, he wrote a speech. Rosa Parks, she sat on the bus. In Texas, one of the highest populated, less melanated people, they don't even mention slaves in the history books. We were enforced workers. Take that for a whole spin. A whole narrative switch. So we don't know. Like, and when you're growing up in the system, now you're creating this divide because social media is easy. You see it on social media all the time, how easy it is for one lie to negate the truth. Now you're in a debate over what is true. Now, even though you know what you know is the God awful truth, this person is so entrenched into the lies they've been taught. Because look, it's been ingrained in them since they was a kid. Look, this is what I learned in elementary school. It's in a book. How many times people quick to tell you like, yo, I learned this in a book, and hold that weight like a man didn't write the book themselves. Like, so like it's going to be hard to kind of, honestly, at some point, like, I don't know if we win. Like, I kind of see this being a trickle down effect of where it could continuously get worse if we don't really start seriously making a effort to combat this in some way. Like, even if it's just like educating ourselves so we know who to pick, or we know like what to look for in a politician. You know, at least like play the game with them, like get our hands dirty, at least be knowledgeable of how they maneuver in the game, so we can, you know, finesse our way, or at least get what we get something out of the deal. Like LGBT community, look, they get a bill overturned in a heartbeat. You know, like so it's time we start applying some pressure. Like,
Yeah. And once again, what I said earlier, because it doesn't negate what you're saying. What I said earlier emphasizes what happened. Right now, we're here, and you're talking about something that's very important. That's very that needs to be recognized as far as voting power, as far as understanding the political system, as far as understanding what votes do in certain ranks and how the impact and influence of voting in certain ranks actually trickle up. You know what I mean? But there are people that are building bunks, waiting for the fallout. There are people that are stashing guns, waiting for shit to hit the fan. What I'm saying is that I'm not, once again, I'm not pushing for anybody to do any one of these things. What I'm saying is that at this point in time, it takes more than just vocal agreement, because it's only going to get worse. Have a fucking plan. You know what I mean? So if what you know in your heart is to move in the sense that voting is where your power lies, because our power lies in way more than just voting. Our power lies in way more than just gun control or just having guns. Our power lies in way more than just building bunkers. We are fucking sentient beings created by God with infinite ability, put into a limited space and a finite existence, so we can make some shit happen. You gotta know yourself in terms of what the fuck you know that you can help to make happen. Have a fucking plan, yo. Have a fucking, because I could tell y'all niggas, I got a plan in mind. It might not be what you agree with, but if shit hits the fan, I know what I'm willing to do. And I know me and mine's gonna be good. Ain't gonna be no paperwork that's gonna stop me from doing what I need to do. Ain't gonna be no paper. Look, I am governed by God, man. Stop.
stop playing with you. All right, let me hit these comments. So Israel Jordan said, I just hopped in, but I think the restrictions might encourage people to put more emphasis on the sanctity and purpose of sexual intimacy. We've been so detached. That actually brings us to the second fold of our tonight's topic. So I'm actually going to use that as a spinning block to go there. And that's actually the question, pretty much, like, how do you guys think the law of Roe versus Wade will make people more sexually responsible? So, Jeide, I'm gonna ask you to kind of start off. Like, do you think people will become more sexually responsible now?
Fuck no. Fuck no. Bruh. Bruh. Look. Let me be fair. I would like to think that will be more sexually responsible. I would like to think. But once again, we're dealing with human beings. Beyond that, we're dealing with the rights. We're dealing with the politics of rights versus free will and moral compass. Shit that's intrinsically given to you for you to be able to make your mind up about what's right or wrong. We got rights. That's like a meta level of right and wrong. So we have motherfuckers that will intentionally fuck shit up as a response to this. We have people. There's a thing called COVID babies, bruh. What you think gonna happen with this? I guarantee you by the years end it's Roe versus Wade babies or some shit like that. Where motherfuckers is gonna intentionally have babies as a direct response to this shit. Niggas is stupid, bruh. And I'm not saying stupid as if they don't have sense. I'm saying motherfuckers have unbridled anger. Motherfuckers have unbridled frustration when it comes to things that they don't understand, or it comes to things that they just want to wreak havoc about, man. I would like to think that we would have more sexual responsibility. It sounds sound. It sounds sound, but if that was the case, then police going through the hood would be more than enough reason for people to stop their criminal activities. If that was the fucking
Well, it dampens it down when they're actually active, like at that moment. But that's the problem. You're not going to be actively active. Yeah. To be watching every person in the states, and that's kind of why I'm in the same boat as you. Like, no, and I'm glad you kind of brought up the COVID babies because that's where I was actually going to go. Because, like, initially, I was thinking to myself, yeah, women, they're gonna be more stricter, they ain't gonna let dudes fuck, I'm protecting. Then I was just like, dudes gonna be more mindful not to have babies, but then I was just like, nah. I was just like, I've never been smart when I've been ready to bust a nut. Like, I've always made my worst decision making then. That's why I need that clarity afterwards, and I was just like, nah, like this is really just gonna go down a rabbit hole where we about to see like the baby. This about to be the new baby storm, like how decades ago they had that baby wave of babies popping up. I think between COVID and this Roe versus Wade, we about to see an influx of baby, and that's honestly what Congress is hoping for. They're just hoping most of the babies are white babies.
yeah. Look, and that's another thing. I'm glad that you brought that up. This is another thing, man. This is so much less a black issue. This is
Oh yeah,
so
this is more concentrated in white power. That's why I brought up early, like how happy the lady was when she said this is a win for white power.
right.
And she tried to backtrack it the next day, but I'm just like, no, she said what she felt, and that crowd reacted because they felt the same way. Like,
this is so much less a black issue, and that's why I say I really feel like the aggression and the vocal attitude, aptitude, and energy is misplaced. We have black women that are going to war about this. This shit ain't about y'all. It affects y'all.
yeah,
Don't get
that's
me
what.
wrong. It affects y'all, but it don't give a fuck about y'all. This shit is not about y'all. This shit is about populating the other side, man.
And that's probably, I can't speak for the ladies, but that's probably where the anger might reside too. There might be another residual factor in the anger because it's just like, this isn't our issue. This is a personal issue that you white men are having with your white women. Like as blacks, we've navigated those wars, and as we continue to navigate those wars, like the divide between us is real, but there also is a love between us that is real as well. Like, now, maybe in other cultures that isn't as prevalent, but we know that, like, as black men, I feel like, look, we might have a bad day where we mad at the ladies or whatever, but we know, look, nobody gonna have our back more than them ladies,
Right.
and vice versa, like, and I don't feel like maybe they feel like it's the same way. Like, I feel like white men see themselves as kind of like dissipating away, like they see their women going more toward the Hispanics, more towards us melanin folks, more towards the Asian. They just kind of, and that fear of seeing themselves dissipate is getting real because them values and that core racist hatred is dissipating, with the next generation because they don't know racism. Like they know they main man is black, and they know they listen to Lil Baby who is black, so they don't got that same hatred that you have for them because they skin. Like, if they don't like you, it's generally because you done something, or it's an emotional, it's a real reason. It isn't because you look a certain way, your skin color is a certain tone, and those older white people are still the ones that's in charge of Congress. And that's another frustration that's with me. It's just like, why is Congress run by the oldest motherfuckers? Like, it's like the people closest to their death are dictating what we're going to do with our lives. Like, I feel like it should be an age cap off where, like, at a certain age, you can't hold this position because your decisions won't live to reap the effects of your decisions. Like, you have to be alive, or the anticipation is that you will possibly live to reap what you sow. Like, so you won't be just in office just dictating any old rule because you will have to feel that, like, at some point. And I feel like that part of government and law needs to be changed. And I feel like that's where we as people can kind of get up on our politicians. That's where we need to hit them at. That's where we need to vocalize. That needs to be the core focus of no. You know what? We need a revolving door, and who is getting the say? Like, I'm not trusting this president to pick Congress because he have relationships with all y'all. He's putting y'all in positions because of his relationships and how they benefit him. You know, I need somebody that's going to benefit us, or at least, you know, give me an option. At least try to pick somebody who I feel like, you know, like gives a damn about me.
I feel you. There's a comment that I want to respond to right quick before I even get to my closing statement, because this closing statement is going to be something that, yeah, I mean, that African butterfly said, if I could read it, she said, crap, the shit went up. I can't scroll. Yeah, I can. Okay, pardon me. She said, Jeide, it is absolutely about us and affects us. It negatively impacts our community, and that's part of the purpose. Quote unquote masters need people who are under them, and our numbers going down is a problem. That African butterfly, you know I love you, but I respectfully disagree. The new race, the new slaves are the intersectionality folk and mixed folk. That's the new slaves. Their numbers are going to increase, and they're going to swallow the numbers of blacks. They're going to swallow the numbers of whites. You either going to be intersectional or you're going to be mixed. They said that by the year of 2050 or 2060 or something, it ain't gonna be no pure blood anything.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be more
Me?
mixed. And Hispanics are gonna be the predominant race over here.
I'm trying to tell you something. Like they have in a
that's why they're trying to put the walls up and trying to make stricter border control laws. Like,
and this is not to say that I'm going against what you're saying per se, because I understand where you're coming from. However, we're the old slaves. Black people are the old slaves, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they still view us as slaves, though. Like,
huh?
I said, they still view us as slaves. We can't get that fucked up.
Wrong. There's still connotations that are attached to the black name that still either black people who aren't quote unquote woke will never be able to break the glass ceiling about, or as far as other people, they'll still be able to throw on a name and be like, oh, you're just a nigger or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as what's functional, as far as economics, man, look, tell me somebody else who has the type of economic power outside of black people, once again, that can make shit move, like you said, than the LGBTQs. Yeah. They make shit fucking
move. Yeah. And
the
fast.
mixed races, come on. They look. I'm gonna put that to one side. Here's my closing.
But they gotta be willing to talk. That's the problem. Some of the mixed races aren't willing to stand up because they too divided internally between am I more black, or am I more white, am I more this, am I more that. Like at some point we gotta I don't know how we can incorporate the mixed races, but they kind of gotta unify themselves to the point where they comfortable within, because like that is a real divide. Like I know a couple mixed race kids that are like struggling with that internal battle of like, am I more this or that? You know, when I'm just like, yo, you're you. You know.
Hold on, that African butterfly gonna kill me if I don't say this second statement. She said prisons make so much money and it's the new slavery. They have to make sure we keep our numbers up to populate them. So you're right, it's about white supremacy, but it's also very much directed, at us also. Agreed. Yes, prisons is a crazy ass plantation. Prisons are crazy ass fucking plantation. But don't get shit fucking twisted, man. As above, so below. As above, so below. There's as many fucking machines above the ground that's making shit work as far as to keeping this country on point as there is those that are under the ground that are getting paid a percentage of the penny and doing 23 and 1. You know what I mean? It's going to be a crazy ass influx. I'm telling you. So here's why I'm gonna stay, because I'm gonna wrap my point up. I'm not gonna like leave you and shit, but I'm gonna just wrap my point up. My finishing statement is this: on some real shit, y'all, we all seen what happened with COVID. One of the weirdest and craziest things that ever happened in my 34 fucking years of life is when we first had COVID and they were telling people to do this, don't do this, quarantine for this long, wear your mask for this long, you gotta get vaccines. My nigga, in less than 2 to 3 months period after the vaccine came out, for some fucking brilliant ass reason, it became a thing where
your audio went out on me.
Huh?
Your audio went out. All right, now you good.
My fault. You don't have to wear your mask. Oh, don't worry about the vaccine. You don't have to get it if you don't want to. Bruh, I still work at Home Depot. Don't get twisted. I worked at Home Depot. I went away for a holiday, bruh. The course of a week. I went away from the course of the week. Listen, I was in Home Depot masked up. Everybody in Home Depot masked up. I came back from holiday. Nobody had a mask because they dropped the mask mandate.
Yeah, I still don't know who decided that quarantine was quote unquote over, but at some point it randomly comes back and randomly disappears, and the days of quarantine just kind of went from 2 weeks to 10 days to 7 days to 3 days. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Bruh, this shit don't make no fucking sense. But niggas is still getting sick. So
See, honestly,
I say that to say this. Watch the moves that'll happen after this shit. Watch the moves. Don't be concerned with the right now. Because everybody was concerned with the right now during COVID. Don't be concerned with the right now. Watch for the next moves that happen after this shit. I guarantee you there's going to be some shit going down for some shit regarding abortion issues afterwards. I guarantee you there's going to be some inconsistencies that's going to come from this shit. That's going to scratch your fucking head. Watch the moves that happen afterwards. Don't get caught up in the hype of right now. Watch what happens afterwards. Keep your eyes peeled. That's all I'm going to say.
I like that. So I'm not going to say much, but do what Jeide said, but also make sure you keep your head on the swivel and you are knowledgeable about what is going on, because you don't want anything to surprise you. But definitely watch the tea leaves, because some of the writing is on the wall, like about things. And I really feel like with that mask mandate, that was just the government way of trying to get us comfortable with masks, as a way of like, okay, yeah, we know. Because, I got these theories in my head of how they trying to knock us off, one by one, like, not even one by one, but just, but like, that is one of them. That's one of them that jumped to mind. I was just like that. The whole push for the narrative of wear the mask, do this, do that, do that, third. Like, you don't, like the African butterfly. I mean, Betty Boo just said, like, you don't even hear about the new variants no more. Like, and I go through whole news sessions where they barely mention it, and then you might walk into one store that might have like the mask man there, and it's just like, well, who decided that it was finally safe to breathe again? Like, because before the quote unquote COVID started, I was feeling perfectly fine, But I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist right now. I'm just gonna say, watch the tea leaves, and just be careful. Stay loved up, stay prayed up, guys. Protect your loved ones, and don't let the negativity of the world drown out the blessings that you receive daily. Make sure you appreciate your flowers, and you do appreciate this life for what it is as well. Like, although we do get a lot of shit thrown our way, we must also remember, it's fresh air above us, and the sun will always come up the next day. Well, that's it for Positive Vibes, maybe, guys. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel at Positive Vibes, maybe, for all episodes. Hop in the DM for t-shirts and all merchandise. Shout out to our official sponsor, T-Shirt Mercenary, who is responsible for these fly t-shirts. Guys, hop in the DM and you can have yours too. It's a PVM summer, so make sure you have your merchandise. Also, hop over to Fly 'em Out Catering for the smoothies and the infused smoothies. I got you guys for all the fresh fruit. Appetites you want up in there, it's good. I got smoothies that can help with your weight loss journey or your weight gain journey. Depends on what journey you're on. Maybe you just want pure enjoyment and just something tasty to drink. I got you with that as well. So hop over to that. Guys, Jeide got an amazing picture up on his profile right now. Definitely hop over to the page, show some love. I'm going to be posting it up in our stories. So if you guys don't have Jeide, well, you guys should be following him at this point. But if you aren't, follow him. And then hop in the stories and then like the picture some more too. Doesn't hurt to tap or hit that double like. We see you guys Sunday. What's that? 4th of July Sunday weekend.
Is it? Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, like, guys, you know, what's the vibes for 4th of July? You know, if you guys are having a cookout or something, send us a picture or something, you know, hashtag PVM. We'll post it up on the stories, you know, and let's enjoy ourselves. We don't got to celebrate America. You know, we just bring back the barbecue for the black folks, you know.
Like that.
Keep melanin. Like, so y'all enjoy your night. Jeide, you want to say anything before we head up?
Oh man, I said enough, man. You know what I'm saying? If them boys come after me, man, just know I love y'all.
See you here. See you guys Sunday.